I set up Google Tag Manager accounts every single week. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to set them up like a pro. Hey there, my name's Scott and I am the founder of an analytics agency called Bedrock. On this channel, we share strategies and tutorials for digital marketers and business owners to become more data-driven. In this video, I've got a three-part process to show you how to install Google Tag Manager correctly every time, so let's dive in. First part of the process is understanding the context. We get a few questions to get answers for here, so let's dive in. The first question is around websites and stakeholders. We first of all need to get a list together of all the websites you'd like to install Google Tag Manager on. And for each of those, get together a list of the stakeholders involved, be that web development resource, or maybe there's a person that's responsible for signing off things going live on their site. Next, we need to look at the technology in play. So understanding, is it a WordPress website, Shopify, maybe it's a custom solution, Magento. Depending on your technology will impact the way that we need to install Google Tag Manager. And last but not least, check for any other tag management solutions already installed. There have been a handful of times where I have worked with clients with 2-3 tag management solutions already on their website. All that does is slow down their website and decrease performance. Now that we've got the context for the Google Tag Manager installation, let's dive into the second part, which is the implementation. This part is a little bit choose your own adventure. So certain technologies like WordPress or Shopify may have plugins or components that you can easily install Google Tag Manager with. If you've got a more custom setup or you don't wish to rely on third parties, you will need a developer to help you at this point. The good thing about this is both ways will start the same. So let's dive into the first part of the process. First, set yourself up with a Google Tag Manager account by visiting tagmanager.google.com. You'll then see a screen such as this when you go to create a container. You need to put a name in there, so I'm going to call this a test container. And I will show you today how to set it up for the web. So this, select web and then create. Once the container is created, you'll land on a page like this. And this little number up here, this is the key to the kingdom basically. If you're looking to install for Shopify or WordPress through a component or a plugin, this is the ID that they will request. So you can copy and paste this, bring it into your component or plugin, and that will be you installed. Typically, we like to avoid using third-party components and plugins, usually because they slow down your website. So we prefer things that are hard-coded. So we'll show you that step next. But if you are going to go down the component plugin route, skip forward to the next session where we will show you how to ensure it's been installed correctly. To install GTM without a plugin or a component, you would click the container ID here, and then you've got some installation instructions that you can follow. If you'd like to install GTM without a plugin or component, click the ID in the top right hand corner and you'll have some instructions here to follow. There are two pieces of code, one that must go in the head and the other that must go in the body of every single page on the website. Just make sure that you install this first on a development or staging environment if you have access to one, so that we can test things there first before it goes live to the actual website. Now the real fun begins, testing and debugging the installation. This is a step missed by most implementations, and if followed is the one that will install 100% success rate every time. This is a two-parter. First of all, we'll check that the code is installed correctly on the page, and then we will check to see the code is installed on every page of the website. The first thing to do is check if it has been installed on the page. To do that, right-click Inspect. Then this will be your DOM. If you just press Ctrl and F here and search for GTM dash, you should be able to search through and see that the code has been installed. So we can see this script here is in the head of the document. This is the script we want there. And then there should be one in the body as well that you can see here. Now that we're happy the code appears in the correct place, we want to now check to see if we get the correct signals that GTM is working as it should be. Inside Google Tag Manager, if you click on Preview, we're using our live container for this, and then insert your URL that we're testing on. This will then load a version of Google Tag Manager on your site and bring up this debug panel. What we want to make sure is that there are a few different messages on the left-hand side. For us, that is initialization, container load, DOM ready, and window loaded. And these are things that happen every single time the Google Tag Manager container loads. And if they're not present, it means there's some kind of error there. Now that you've checked one page, I'd like you to go and manually check 4 or 5 other pages on the website, preferably in different templates. So maybe pick a blog page, a category page, a product page, maybe a page in your checkout as well, and make sure the code's installed in the correct place and you're also getting those signals through in the preview mode. Now we need to check every page on the website, but don't worry, I'm not crazy. It's very simple and I'll walk you through it. There are some great tools here. First one I want to show you is GA Checker. All you need to do is paste your domain in and it will run through sites below 10,000 pages. It will also check to see if other things from Google are installed like AdWords, etc. But we just care about Google Tag Manager. So if you set this off, it will take a few moments. And once it's finished loading, you will either get an X or a tick to say that Google Tag Manager has been installed. This works well if you've got a few different websites. Just paste your other website domains in one by one, as well as subdomains. If your website's over 10,000 pages, we can use Screaming Frog, which you will need a license for, but it's quite cheap. And if you have an SEO team, they probably have one already. So to crawl all the pages in Screaming Frog, what we need to do is go to Configuration, then Custom and Search. So all you need to do is insert your container ID here. I like to set it to contain because it then will count the number of times that appears on the page. We click OK. Then you can start your crawl at the top of the page by putting in your URL. And if we go across to Custom Search, we'll then see the pages on the website that contain how many instances. So we can see we want 2 because there's one in the head and one in the body. If you have any missing pages, you're able to export these reports and then you can go about fixing those issues. And that's it. That's how to install Google Tag Manager like a pro. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video and want to see more. And if you have any questions or issues, please put them in the comments and I'll try and respond.